This video will describe how to create polygon feature data in ArcMap. Now this video is going to present to you a very fundamental approach, and there's always something to explore in ArcMap. This is really great software. But when it comes to this this procedure I'm sharing with you, again, this is it. This is the bare bones. If I got to create polygons and add some feature data, the attribute table, how do I do it, kind of a video, this is it. And please explore the software, and you could always find some new ways or ways to augment the procedure that I'm going to show you right now. But for starters, you're going to see that I brought in the US states layer in, and I've zoomed in on the state of Kansas. And I've zoomed in on the state of Kansas because that's where I'm making this video right now. Why do we bring in a layer into ArcMap? And not only a layer, a georeference layer. That's important, a georeference layer, because this layer is projected, it has a coordinate system, it knows where it's at in the world. That's very important for GIS data. But now when you create your polygons, it will also have georeference. Those polygons will be georeferenced because of they're being created in a tandem with the layer that's already been brought in. So that's taken care of. The next thing you have to take care of is actually creating the file. And to do that, you're going to have to go over to Catalog, and if you don't see Catalog in your view, you might see a little tab right here that says Catalog. If it's not there, all you have to do is just go over here and click on the Catalog icon. So one way or the other, please open up Catalog. The next thing you're going to have to do is make sure that you know where this data is going to be located. And I already created a folder for this exercise, so wherever, just know where your data is going to be located, and right click wherever that data is going to be located and go to New, and then go to Shapefile. Now shapefiles are widely used. I don't want to say the word simple, because GIS data, I wouldn't call it simple. But I will say that it is, might say, a fundamental form of GIS data. And there's also putting the feature data, embedding it within a geodatabase and things like that. So this is just one way, but it's a nice way. And I'm going to call this new polygon file, I'm going to call it poly. I know, very creative, huh? And the feature type is going to be polygon. And not messing around with any of the other settings. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to give me a little warning here. It's OK, OK, and OK. We have now, inside of Catalog, you're going to see that new polygon layer that you created. Now, another thing we're going to be doing is adding in attribute data within poly, and within the polygon layer. You see, I'm already just calling it poly. And to do that, you're going to obviously see the icon next to the layer that you created. That's going to indicate it's a polygon layer. Right click on it and go to Properties. And if you don't see the Fields tab highlighted, just make sure you click on it. And this is showing you what's going to be in the attribute table. Let's create a new field. And let's just say that this polygon layer is going to be used for creation of 3D features on a landscape. So the creation of an attributes table field called height is necessary. So field name, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to type in height. The data type, there's a variety of them that you could select on, but long integer would probably be okay. And I'm going to click OK. All right, now it's time to start creating. The editor toolbar is seen right here is going to be very important to have available. And if you don't have it available, go over to Customize and go to Toolbars and just make sure Editor has a check mark next to it and you're in business. It may be that Editor is, here, let me do this. I'm going to pull it up here. It might be embedded up here amongst some of the other toolbars. And that's fine. You could work fine from up here, but I'm going to pull it out just for the heck of it. Okay, so you have Editor toolbar available. In the drop-down, please click on Start Editing. And it's going to ask, so, where are we going with all this? And I have the polygon layer already highlighted, so that works out fine. Just make sure, please, that it knows you have directed ArcMap to what it is that's going to be worked upon in just a second. Okay, just went through default there. Time to draw. In the Editor toolbar, all the way over to the right, you're going to see that they have a button here called Create Features. All right, click on that, and it might have done something slightly different in your view. Maybe you'll see it side by side with Catalog or whatever, but you will see Create Features. Okay, so I make sure that I click on it once, the polygon layer that I created is highlighted, and then for construction tools, you'll see that polygon is one of them, and that's what we want. Well, I will want for my particular polygons. And if you had created a point layer, a feature layer, or a line feature layer, you would see different construction tools for each one of those other forms of featured data. But you click on polygon, and I want to see my name across the state of Kansas, so I'm going to start drawing away. Okay, here we go. And my name is Rich, so there we go. There's an R. Now, I draw an R, and I say, I didn't like that at all. That's terrible. Why did I do that? One of the ways that you can get rid of something, if you don't like it, is you'll see up here, Edit Tool. Not only get rid of, but it has other options too, but we're not going to get into that. But if I said, I do not like that at all, I could always select. I could delete. And let me try that one more time. Let me see if I can do this. And this time, okay, this is a better messed up R, so I'm much happier. Okay, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to type in the rest of that name of mine. 1 second, folks. Artist at work. Right as well as I did back when I was in elementary school. Look at that. See what you can do with a PhD? Look at that. Amazing. Okay. And double click whenever you get to the end of your polygon. Double click. Okay. Okay. There we have it. And the polygons are created. And what wonderful polygons they are. Now the second thing, if you want to add in attribute information into those, we already created a brand new attribute field just right after the creation of the polygon layer, and we called it height. To add in that data, now you go to the table of contents, and you right click, and you go to Open Attribute Table. Okay, so I go over to the polygon layer, I right clicked, and I went to Open Attribute Table. And now you're going to see there is a field here called height. You cannot add or subtract or change data unless you're in Edit. However, though, the ironic thing is you can only create a field outside of Edit. So just know if something isn't working, ask yourself, are you or aren't you in Edit mode? So for heights, here we go. I'm going to add a couple of values here. Here, 500 and maybe 800 and 700. 7,000, that's crazy. And 456 or whatever. After you enter in the last value, make sure you hit return. Now here's a weird quirk of Arc, and just play it safe by doing this. After you get done entering in your last value and you see it's been accepted. Back up in the editor toolbar, please, in the drop down, first save your edits. And then after you saved your edits, then stop editing. Now if you just clicked on stop editing, it would say, do you want me to save your edits? And you could say, oh yes, sure, and you think you solved the problem. There's just been a couple of cases that we've noticed in here in our lab, in our classes, where if you don't hit save edits first, it might lose something. So it's just a little bit more security. Make sure your data's been saved. Okay, and I click on, okay, bottom line is, and afterwards I click stop editing. And ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully created polygons that now have attribute data within them, and they have geographic reference. And this was the most fundamental way of creating polygons that have geographic reference and now have attribute data. Thank you.